It's quarantine self-retie time. So what I've done is taken out this little gold section here. Don't know if I will do all of this tonight, but I'm going to spread this out. I'm planning on spreading this retie out over a week's time. And so I got this little section here is my first section. And the rest, I just pulled it back into a ponytail. Let's see how it goes. Hey y'all, so I'm continuing with my retie, and I have all of this, all the front done, so you can kind of see as I go off in here, all of this is back down to the scalp. I'm trying to give you a little sneak peek off in there. All right, whereas the back, hopefully I'm still in the frame. The back is in this ponytail is what's not done. So I wanted to just give you an idea. I have a little handheld mirror that I put in front of me to kind of work through the whole front part of my head. Now that I'm getting ready to go into the back, I got a couple things that I'm going to try. The first thing that I've been doing, kind of going along this side part, is I have a little mirror right here. And what I'm doing is I am using this to kind of see the side of my head. And so I'm going to use that for kind of this little section in here. And then when I get to the point where I'm all the way in the back of my head, I've got a trick that I'm going to use with my camera. And so I'll give you guys a glimpse of how I'm going to see the back of my head, because I do not trust myself to retighten my hair just using my hand. Like, I know a lot of ladies do it. I don't feel comfortable with it. So I'm going to have to find a way to actually be able to see the back of my head. And I've got a way that I'm going to be able to do that. And so I'll show you how that goes. Hey, YouTube world. All right, I finished up my first full head self retightening. I spread it out over about 5 days. I started on Friday and I probably did the bulk on Friday and Saturday. On Friday and Saturday was when you saw that picture where I did the whole front and I just had like a little bit right here and then just the back of my head. And then I spread the back of my head out over about, 3 different days. I wasn't in a rush and I originally was planning on setting up my camera so that I could see the back of my head. But just after continually listening to people on YouTube say that they were doing it by feel, I was just like, well, let me at least try. So I tried a couple locks and I was like, this isn't so bad. I mean, basically what I did was, if I could give you a little example, let's pretend like this is a lock and let's act like I'm at the base of the lock right here. Okay. What I would do is I would just get my thumb at the base of the lock. And then when I would come with my lock tool, I would just make sure that I pushed in the center of my finger. Like I would make sure that the lock was in the center of my finger. I would make sure the lock is in the center. And then I would just find my tool and just kind of feel on my thumb, am I in the center of this lock? And, that's how I went through and did it. Let me show you my lock tools. I use the ones that you've seen many people out here in YouTube world using. I think you get 2 for $9.99 on Amazon. I personally prefer this one, and you'll notice that all I did was just close up the hole a little bit further. I just, used some pliers and closed that down so the hole's not so big. I guess if I had to pick a perfect tool, I'd probably pick one that's a little bit shorter than this one. Maybe I would try, but I didn't want to pay, $25, $29 or whatever for one of those short curved tools like this. So I just use this one. You get 2 for $9.99. I also tried this kind that you've seen a lot of people in YouTube world use. This one is decent, I'll say, but I prefer the skinniest point possible. So when you see, let's see if I can get this to focus a little bit. You may not be able to get this, hold on. I may not be able to get this to focus very well, but what I'm trying to do is just show you how the points are different. And so you'll notice that the second tool, the point is wider. And I really like a pointy point. For whatever reason, that just kind of works better for me. So I'll link that in the description box where you can get these 2 tools, because I believe I got all of mine off of Amazon. And that's how I did it. So I can't really speak to how much time it takes because I binge watched A Different World. I was watching TV. I was stopping, getting up, doing stuff. So I really did just chill. Like I said, the most concerted effort that I made was when I was doing the front of my hair using my mirrors. And when I used my little side mirror on the side, that's the most concerted effort. And that was on Friday and Saturday. After that, I just started chilling once I got into the back. And now that I'm all done, I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of rose water. It's the same rose water that you all have seen out there. I think it's called like Heritage something. It's the one that everybody uses, the regular kind of rose water that you get at the beauty supply store. I used that, and then I mixed it with distilled water, and then I boiled some rose petals on my own. And I added some tea tree oil and some rosemary oil. So that's what I'm currently doing to try to help me, because I told you that I've been dealing with a little bit of dryness. I've been hearing people talk about making sure you take care of the ends of your locks. I mean, that hadn't really been like a thing, but I'm hearing my lock sisters that are a little bit ahead of me, because I just reached 2 years. I'm hearing them talk about, make sure you just put a little bit of moisture on the ends of your locks. I don't have dry hair. I mean, I'm dealing with some dryness on my scalp, but I don't overall have dry hair. But since I just finished the retightening, I'll go ahead and spray a little bit on my ends, and then I'll just kind of rake it through like this and put it back up in the quarantine ponytail, because nobody's trying to, you know, do anything too special these days. But let me turn around and give you guys a close-up view what we got here. And remember, I have thinner strands, and so because of that, you pretty well can always see my grid anyway. But, you know, it definitely looks different when it's done. All right, so we're all done. And I did, you know, combine some locks, none that I wasn't able to get back apart again, but it is just so easy to get a hair from the next section. And when I went back and forth, because I wanted to see which tool I liked the most, and that was when I discovered that I just like the pointy tip tool the most, because I found that I ended up I was more likely to pick up a hair from the next lock bed using this one than when I used this one, the little skinny pointy tip one. Okay. So again, I'll provide a little link to these in the description box. But yeah, that was it, guys. I took my time. If you're out there and you're trying to be adventurous and you're thinking about retightening your own hair, the main thing that I would say is that don't expect perfection out of yourself. You'll probably combine something, you'll probably do something wrong, but at the end of the day, your hair is not about perfection. Your hair is about keeping it healthy and you feeling good about yourself. And so if you're brave and you want to try something, now's the time. I personally am not one of those individuals that feels like, well, you don't have Sisterlock if you self-retightened and you haven't taken the class and all of that kind of stuff. I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in any form of bondage, really. So it's your hair and you need to do what makes you feel comfortable with it. And if right now you feel like you're brave and that you have what it takes to get off in your head and retighten your hair, well, then get off in your head and retighten your hair. It'll make it a little bit better for you when you go back to your loctician, and you will not have had, you know, months and months and months. Don't be out here, you know, thinking weird, well, will I still have Sisterlocks? Does it matter? I mean, I'm just saying, like, where are our priorities? Does it matter whether you have Sisterlocks if you self-retightened your own hair one time in the middle of a pandemic and you were trying to keep your hair, you know, from, you know, being a mess? So I just would say focus on first things first. The first thing is you feeling comfortable, you feeling confident. Many of us are still out here doing diverse things, trying to bring income into our homes during this really challenging time. You're doing Zoom meetings, you're participating in all different kinds of things. And so I just want you to know that if you got a little bravery in you, don't allow some weirdness to stop you from doing what you need to do, and just be patient with yourself, knowing that, yeah, I mean, you're going to make a mistake or two. That's fine. You may make a mistake of 15 or 20. I know that I grabbed the hair from a neighboring lot at least 15, 20 times when I was going throughout this process. Thankfully, I was able to get them apart. There was also a time where I went through the same side. I don't think I went through the same side, but whatever I did, it kind of resulted in like something feeling really bumpy. And so I was able to just kind of pull the lot back out and then try again, whatever it was that I had done wrong. Also, with all the point directions and all that other stuff, again, I just feel like, who cares? If you are a 4-point person, then you need to enter in at 4 different points. You don't need to go back through the same point twice, but who cares? You know, when people get really, really specific around, well, it's got to be top down and side to side and all of that. Again, I think all of that in great circumstances, if you want to be a loctician and you want to be, you know, doing things on other people's hair, yes, you need to be very proficient and you need to know exactly what you're doing. In the middle of a pandemic where you're trying to maintain your own hair and you're, you know, just trying to take care of yourself and not have a mountain of new growth when we get on the other side of this crisis, I feel like whatever. You went south, west, northeast, or hey sis, you went east, north, west, south, whatever. Just go through 4 different points and be consistent, you know, across your head. I'm left-handed. And so a lot of the ways that women come in with the 3-point, because I'm on a 3-point, it doesn't feel comfortable to me to do that. So what I did was I sat down and I figured out which one of these ways feels comfortable to me so that I'm not sitting here fidgeting and fumbling around with this little tool, adding extra hours to my retightening time because I'm trying to make sure I go to points of entry that somebody else said. So I picked my 3 points that felt comfortable to me, and I was consistent across my head. And I know what I did so that if I have to retighten my hair again, I'll be able to do that. My retightening would have been this weekend. This weekend is when I was going to go in to get my hair retightened if we had not, you know, had all of this cancellations and all those things. So what I did was I started last weekend to make sure that I had a full week, you know, a full 7 days to kind of meander around in my head working on it so that I would still be on time. So, you know, I actually will probably wait like I typically wait 6 weeks between retightenings, and I'll do the same thing this time. I'll probably just around that 5.5 weeks, I'll just start the process just to make sure that I'm kind of keeping my time. But again, I'm just gentle with myself and I don't get angry with myself when I make a mistake. It is what it is. But I think I did a good job. It's retightened. I hope that you and your family and everybody is doing well. I hope that you are staying encouraged. Make sure that you're getting out there and finding you some encouraging words. Make sure you are not feeding yourself on, you know, just only the news media and things like that so that you will be so bound up in fear by the end of the day that you can't halfway sleep. Try to keep some kind of a regimen going. During this time, I know it's easy for us to just get really off because our cycles and schedules and just things have been messed up. But I just want to encourage you during this time. You will be better. I believe that we have the opportunity to be better on the other side of this instead of bitter. And so I just want you to hang in there, subscribe, continue to watch these videos. I'll try to get out here and make a couple of videos just to help us, you know, stay encouraged and kind of keep it moving during this time. But know that I'm thinking about you and praying for us all. And I will see you next time.